Let's talk about Joe Rogan. All right, I love Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's great. He has really just raw conversations, and I think that's what people like about him. The rawness of his conversations. There's no holding back. It's just like him and insert whoever you want. Whoever's on his show. He's had thousands of shows now, right? I don't even know how many shows he's on, but um, Joe Rogan, just the vibe that he has. You're very comfortable. It's like you're hanging out with him, shooting the breeze with insert whoever it is. And I've watched. I haven't watched so many of his shows. I watch more of his clips that make their rounds. I've seen a few long episodes. Jordan Peterson one was awesome. The Kevin Hart episode. Who else? David Chappelle. Some of the greats. Undertaker. I love the Undertaker. That dude is an absolute boss. That was really cool to watch on that one. Elon Musk. So I saw some of the Tim Pool one when he was on, but I don't know. But anyway, it's his authenticity and his viewpoints that piss some leftists off so much. So when he got his $100 million deal to move from YouTube over to Spotify, people were, they were like, oh, is Spotify gonna censor some of his stuff, and they ended up actually getting rid of some of his episodes. And the employees were like, why is he even here? Like, you should fire him. Why is he shouldn't be, he doesn't belong on Spotify, like blah, 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 blah. And it turns out these people are still complaining about him. It's like, oh my gosh, shut up. It's kind of raises a bigger point. If you can't have differing opinions. It makes me think of Bryson Gray. All right. If you don't know who Bryson Gray, dude is absolutely outspoken about his beliefs and what he believes in. It's, he's very religious. He's all about his faith, and, that's fine. And Carlin Borisenko, she's been on my show many times. You might know her, Carlin B. Dr. Carlin B. She and him got into this tussle, and they were fighting online because she has a lot of friends in the LGBTQ community, and Bryson is absolutely against it because it's against his religion. He adheres to the Bible. He's basically like a Bible expert, and that's part of his religion. It's his views. Look, I don't agree with his views, but that doesn't mean that I don't think he's a bad person, or it's like he doesn't attack me or for not, believing the same things that he believes. He's just very outspoken about it and preaches his viewpoints. So I have to ask, is there a point where they will accept that they, meaning the LGBTQ community, will they accept people like Bryson, that he will never agree with their way of life? Do they need every single human being to validate them, or can they be validated on their own, right? Which is, I think, the important part. They need to realize that there's going to be people like Bryson Gray that won't ever accept them. That's a truth. There will always be people that won't accept you. And it's like, we live in a world where, freedom of speech, right? People are free to believe what they want. So are they, or are they not? Do you want freedom of speech, or do you not want freedom of speech? Because guess what? There's countries on this planet that don't have freedom of speech, and instead of just being outspoken, being against your views and your, I don't want to say beliefs, or just your way of life, I guess, right? They straight up murder you. That exists right now. People are killing their own family members in the Middle East for being gay. It's like, it's craziness. So to bring it back to Joe Rogan, these people are straight up upset with him because they are, just, I don't know, against the type of people that his guests that come on and have differing viewpoints that trigger their way of life. That trigger their defense mechanism, that they think that they're being like attacked with these microaggressions, when, as I said earlier in the episode, these people are spoiled. I'm spoiled. You're spoiled. We're all spoiled. Everyone here is spoiled. If you live in America, you're spoiled. If you live in Europe, you're spoiled. All right? Western society. Look, I've been to, I went to South Africa last year, right? Last year. I mean, I went to South Africa 5 years ago, I think now. And when I was there, I was doing a job for Chanel, right? So it was like top of the line job. It was the biggest job I've ever done in my life, my career of modeling. And we stayed in this ritzy hotel. It was the Nelson Mandela Hotel. I think it's one of the nicest hotels you could stay in South Africa. In Cape Town. It's a beautiful place, private grounds, beautiful pool. It was incredible. And I had a driver that would drive me around, and he took me out on the weekend, because we had one weekend before the week of work, and I drove through the countryside, and like I saw, outside of the city, people living in shacks, walking to get water just outside Cape Town. It wasn't like I was out hours and hours away from the city. It was like right outside. We were driving through the countryside because we went to a Cape of Good Hope, I think it's called. The most southwest point of Africa. And hey, he was like, oh yeah, people, you have to go get water and bring it back. And it's like, this is a normal thing. It's like, people still are walking to go get water right outside Cape Town. It's like, it exists in this world where people still don't have water. And I'm sure it's even worse in many other countries around this planet. We are so spoiled. And these people are complaining about Joe Rogan having conversations with people about, having a discourse about, philosophies and their lives, of what their, expertise is. These people are so spoiled and entitled that they think that they can complain to Spotify and get Joe Rogan fired. Joe Rogan, the #1 podcast on the planet. This dude, who doesn't like Joe Rogan? I'll tell you what, these lefties, this Daily Caller episode or article is hilarious. It's basically just making fun of these guys. And I was laughing when I was reading this article. Spotify employees aren't happy with Joe Rogan and his insanely popular podcast. According to a New York Post, Business Insider reported that employees are not happy with the content Joe Rogan's podcast, and the decision to sign him to mega deal was the most contentious in company history. Who cares? Why do we care? What do employees in a company have anything to do with who's paying to listen to Joe Rogan? Because guess what? People are listening to Joe Rogan, employees. They're not listening to you. You guys are screeching the loudest. You're a loud minority of people that just complain and are entitled. Ugh! Goodness sakes. Here's one quote. I'm personally bothered by his transphobic comments and am concerned with the way he might spread misinformation. Look, you can always count on, there's always going to be someone who's going to disagree with you or your way of life. That's just, maybe one day we'll get there, right? There's always going to be racists, but just tune them out. Like, we got to teach, like, inclusivity. Like, I'm not talking about being woke. I'm talking about, because woke now is teaching that, like, white people are racist and black people need help or something. I don't know what these Democrats are what they really believe, because that's the vibe I'm getting from them, right? And that's insane. We got to teach that everyone's the same. We're all human beings. We all bleed. We all cry. We all have emotions. We all have pain when someone dies. We all feel pain when we lose someone we love. Relationships, whatnot, not necessarily death, but it's that pain is real across the board. Everyone feels that. transphobic comments. I probably had a transphobic comment earlier because of that, what's going on in that Wii Spa in LA. These people are protesting it and should legally be able to protest instead of being attacked by Antifa, being called transphobes and TERFs because they don't want a child being exposed to a big dick in the women's side. I don't know if it was big, whatever. It was in her face. She was uncomfortable. The mom was pissed. I don't blame the mother. Another employee described those who hate Rogan as a loud minority of people who are outraged. Cool. Of course, they weren't happy with him when it happened, but what are they going to do? You know what all the employees who don't like Joe Rogan should do? I think they should all get together and quit. That'll really show him. By quitting and leaving Spotify, they'll stick it to Joe Rogan. I'm not sure he'll be able to recover if they all leave the company. You know, why would they want to work at a place that employs? They should quit. If they really do feel that way, then they should quit. Because guess what? You're not going to get Joe Rogan fired. He's the top podcaster on the planet. What are you going to do? Or at least in America. I don't know if that holds true, but I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, stick to your morals then. This goes back to one of Zuby's rules. People would rather act like they're doing something right than actually do something right. Look, if you really believe this, then go work somewhere else. If you really believe this. What about this Olympic hammer thrower, Barry, whatever her name is? If you don't like America, if you are ashamed to be American, leave. Go somewhere else. Right? If you're sticking by your morals, then you believe that this place is a terrible place, then get out. Go somewhere else. You're welcome to leave. Right? You're representing America. If you don't want to, then why are you even representing it then? If you don't want to leave America, okay, fine, don't. You're born there, sure, it's your country. Well, you're representing it on the world stage. If you don't like America, then don't represent it then. How about that? Well, make a little bit of a compromise. These people are crazy.